Good day, guys. Us today, and in this one today, we're playing Shin Megami Tensei 4. Now, this is the first time I have ever played this. I managed to pick it up, I managed to get it booting, and this is the first time I've tested it in the emulator. So, I'm using the Citra Bleeding Edge emulator. Now, this is Citra, the official download. Links in the description down below for that kind of stuff, and also links to a guide to set it up in the same way that I've done it in this video. I'm utilizing the Xbox One S pad to actually navigate through everything, and in terms of the settings, we'll go for the configs further on in the video, but for now, I just want to make sure that this is all working. So in the bottom left hand corner, as you can see, I've got fraps running, and it's just for the actual frames per second counter, and it's telling me that it's picking up the gameplay at 60 frames per second. However, bottom right hand corner, you'll see that the game is actually running at 30 frames per second. It must be something to do with the buffering or the way that this is being rendered onto the screen, which is fooling fraps. Now, the main thing to pick up on is next to the frames per second in the bottom right hand corner, you've got 100% or somewhere close. Of course, this could fluctuate, especially during menu screens, loading screens, all that kind of stuff. But as long as during the actual gameplay, it stays around 100, we are good to go. So far, so good. Now, in terms of the cutscenes, we look to be good. Now, I'm not too concerned about the actual storyline and cutscenes. I just want to try and make sure that each bit of the game, in terms of how it's displaying for us and how it's working, how it's rendered, is actually playable. Now, from the look at this one, it's good. I'm actually looking forward to getting into this series. You guys have been on at me for ages to get into this franchise, and, well, now I am. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. So at this moment, I am literally, well, get out of there. Let me put my details in before I start talking again. Oh, I have to use my... Do I? Continue entering name, yeah. There we go. I wasn't clicking on it right. Luckily, I can't use big letters as well. There we go. Austin. Next. Okay. Yes, that's correct. Cool. So now we're getting into the game, hopefully. Again, this is the first time I've played this. It looks to be, from me playing the earlier versions, this one's got some more 3D based stuff going on. In terms of the visuals, the full motion video, not only is it working well, but it's actually pretty well detailed. The thing with the 3DS was the fact that the videos and everything going along with it, it was all supposed to be rendered onto a 240p screen. So it was never meant to be on the big screen, which meant that the file size was always kept lower, which meant lower quality. So when you then blow it up later down the line, where we are now, it looks all pixelated and kind of noisy, busy, all that kind of stuff. But we'll see how this goes on anyway. So this looks like full motion video again. I don't think this is... Or is it? We'll find out now.
Oh, so there you are. Hey. Oh.
No, we're in. Okay, so my settings must be on 240. It looks very pixelated here. So right then. First off then, the way I need to change it, I may as well take you through the configuration. So far it's completely as it was on my installation guide for Citra. I've enabled the joysticks, like I said, I'm using the Xbox One pad. Everything is working perfectly as it should be. In other words, if I just press left and right with a stick, it controls all the characters. All the buttons are identical to the way it should be working on the actual 3DS. Now, that's not using third-party apps, that's using the actual configuration from within the emulator itself, giving less input lag, all that kind of good stuff. Anyway, in terms of the configuration, that should always be ticked. This is all my details, so no change. In terms of input, like we said, I'm using the control pad, so all this will be wrong. Graphic-wise, I've got this turned down to 240, so let's pump this up. Let's see if it'll take or impact on the gameplay. Speed, 99%. Frames per second, 30 and 60 in terms of the emulator. So let's turn this on to 4K and see if this slows anything down. So we got a jitter from it loading it up, as it would always do. And yeah, we have seen a hit there. Well, that's something new. Interesting. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? So this will now be impacting on mostly my GPU. I'm guessing that because of all the extra artifacts on the screen and things like that, that's what's hitting it so hard. Wow. Let's go back into emulation configure. Let's drop this down. Let's pick something sensible. So we'll go down to 960. In terms of the other stuff, yeah, all good to go. I don't like to enable VSync because that does start to cripple systems. This one works just as well. Frame limit, that keeps the game speed as it should be, as intended. Okay. And there, as we go, we've got a better frame rate, but we're still not up to as it was intended. Pretty playable, though. I'll give it that. Right, again, let's drop this down. This is the first time I've ever had to do this with the emulator. But it's good. I like this kind of thing. 720. Is this going to pump me back up to 60? No. Right, let's go all the way back down. Let's go to 480. Slight increase, but then we've dropped again. Okay then, 240. Native 240. So there you go. That's the first time I've ever seen this on the emulator, which is good. I like this kind of stuff. We're having to actually battle to get through and see how this is performing. So I'm getting used to my controls. First time I played this. So now we're running at 100%. But we have to play it in 240p. Crazy. Okay then, let's go through this then.
Finally made it. Now I can take shape too.
Well, this is far more advanced than the other versions of this franchise, isn't it? So I suppose it's the same kind of thing going on.
For you to show up. You do remember me, right? That's right. I'm Walter. Whatever happens after this, you better not forget me.
Of course I won't, Princess.
Because you and me are going to make a world where anything can be changed if you have the...
Okay. Again, I'm not too fussed about the actual storyline or anything like that. I'm trying to bypass as much as I can where it allows me. The only thing I want to focus on here is the gameplay. I like the way how this... It sounds weird because it's not working well. But I like the way how it's making me battle to get the full frames per second. It's showing you the limitations. And this is the first time within this emulator where it's made an impact visually on the resolution, bringing the speed down. So something must be working different when we're actually rendering this using the GPU. Or maybe the visualization of the resolution is also tied to the CPU in some way.
You've come.
Interesting. I like this. This game looks good as well.
I prayed and waited, longing for the day you'd come. You remember who I am, right?
Of course I do.
Yes, that's right. My name is Jonathan. You must have
Right. Skip. This is very psychological, this version of the franchise, isn't it? I'm liking it, though. Uh-oh, what's going on here? It's getting creepy.
Please, won't you revive me?
Very dark version of the franchise. This has been a big change from the last game. And now it goes into the intro. This is crazy. I'm liking this. Okay, while this is going on, I'm going to see if me changing the resolution in the full motion video will improve that. So again, we're on 240 at the moment. Will this change the resolution of the in-game video? Yeah, it makes it a little sharper, but I wouldn't say it's much of an improvement. And again, we have dropped frames per second. Wow. Let's put this somewhere sensible. Let's drop it down to 720. No, this game does not like any kind of enhancements in terms of resolution. So we're going to drop this back down to 240 and just have to live with it, I'm afraid, guys. When I drop it down to 240, we get pretty much solid frame rate. I would say that me messing around with it's now knocked it down a bit, though. But probably when it loads the next thing up, we'll get back up to full speed. But if you were playing this now, you wouldn't be able to notice that this is going, what, 2 frames less every second? No. Okay, so can we bypass this? You guys have really got me into this franchise as well. I like doing these tests, not just because I get to see how the emulator's working, but also it gets me playing new games that I've not tried before. It makes me go out there hunting for these games, which you guys are always talking about and saying, oh, does this work? And I'm always asking, why are you guys think I've never heard of that before? And then I get franchises like this, and I find gems.
We've spent so
Love
many
it.
days out here at Lake Mikado after all.
Okay, let's bypass all this. Trying to get into one more 3D based sequence. Come on.
What?
Again, storyline, not interested. Everything's working perfectly during these cutscene things.
But no.
This is going back to the beginning kind of thing.
Hello?
My.
Yeah, I talked to everybody now. Back. Okay. So it's like the first one where you had that little pointer and you could go around the maps and things and bump into people. So I've not listened to the story, so I've got no idea what's going on here. Exit out. So is there anywhere I can go around? Frugal woman.
Hello?
Hi, mate. He's a simple man. He's one of my guys. Reeking man. Wonder if that means in terms of his stench or in terms of his
Hello?
talking to all these guys. I'm not getting any further with the game. I need to concentrate on the actual gameplay in order for this to happen. So while we're in here then, again, we will go into the configuration settings and we'll see if the graphics again make an impact, even cleaning this up. I don't think they will, because in terms of the 2D textures and resolutions for this as it was intended on the small screen, I don't think we're going to make it look any better. In fact, I think us heightening it would make it even worse, because then it would sharpen some of the pixelated edges. No, it's not too bad, to be honest. Games like this could really do with texture filtering or some kind of texture enhancements. That would clean up a lot of the text and a lot of the pixelated stuff that's going on in here. But yeah, I think we've seen how this one's working now. The 3D based stuff is really good and it can look gorgeous, but by turning it up, it's one of the few games, in fact I think it's the only game I've seen on the 3DS up to now, where me changing the resolution really impacts the frame rate of the game. Something must be different in the way that this game is coded to resolution and performance. Something crazy is going on there. Anyway, I'll do a little bit more digging. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Have you got this kind of experience from playing these games? Is there anything that I should be aware of? Let me know. It's the first time I've pumped this one out and the first time I've got into this game. So I'm a newcomer to, well, emulating this game. So as always, guys, it's been a pleasure doing this for you. Please like, please subscribe. Please do all the things in this YouTube world where we play great new franchises for the first time. But most of all, you have a good day. Laters!